Welcome to Ideagen TV and this year's Global Leadership Summit 2023. Today I am honored to have with us Kristen Hicks, Director of Product Marketing for Microsoft Cloud for Retail. Kristen, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So exciting, so exciting. You're just off an exciting visit to the National Retail Federation's conference. I know we talked a little bit about that in our pre-interview. And it's 2023. You're leading out Cloud for Retail, product marketing. Please describe to our global audience, the millions of people that are watching this interview, a little bit about yourself and your role at Microsoft.
Absolutely. For our global audience, hi, I'm Kristen Hicks. I am a marketing maverick with years of experience of sales, consumer goods marketing, and marketing consulting. I'm also an alum from the Kelley School of Business MBA program, and I currently serve as marketing director at Microsoft, covering retail and consumer goods and leading our go-to-market for one of our newest, most innovative solutions from our global retail industry. That's Microsoft Cloud for Retail. Cloud for Retail, it connects retailers with their customers, their people, and their data like never before across the end-to-end retail value chain. To your point, we did a showcase of the Wave 2 solutions in Cloud for Retail at NRF. And I hope some of the audience is able to catch it, but if not, they can always visit our website, microsoft.com/retail. For the latest. So really great to be here and really appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone about what we're seeing today.
Incredible. And this interview and this summit globally is focused on leadership. And, you witnessed all the leadership at the NRF event and conference. Every day you work with leaders. And I'd like to ask you a question about what do you see as some of the gaps in leadership, especially today?
Oh, yeah. And it also resonated really with conversations at NRF as well. So while we're all revenue minded, the biggest gaps that I see in leadership are with empathy and diversity misses. And a lot of that shows up with knowing your customer. It's really a table stakes question for any business. What matters most to your customer? Is it innovation? Then invest in it because they'll appreciate being on the cutting edge. Is it comfort? Is it the confidence in knowing that when I engage with the brand, everything is reliable and I don't need anything more? If comfort and reliability means the most to your customer, then investing in ensuring the basics are predictable so that if anything else fails, people can depend on you for what you need. What is your customer passionate about? And how does what you do help them reach their passion? It's interesting because many customers extend their reach in the world through us as the business and the way they invest in the brands that they support, especially the ones who are doing some social good, some environmental good. People are voting with their dollars. So the greater alignment that you can have with your customer's passion, the more loyal they'll be to your brand, because not only are you providing the service, but you're also driving a unique human connection that no other company can match. So find out what your base is passionate about and do the work in those spaces. And I'll give a couple examples. So McDonald's has the Ronald McDonald House charities and Gospel Fest. They know their customer. And Microsoft, we partner with the Special Olympics. We've partnered with them for almost a decade now. And we empower the world to achieve more with technology, including wireless access in remote spaces and education. So while it could be tempting to dive into new meta spaces and incubation areas, the gap really is in knowing your customer and finding out what they care about and connecting with them authentically wherever they are. After all, brands are living and breathing entities, so connect. And the last thing I want to stress is when I said authentically, right? Because consumers can easily tell if you're looking to capitalize on a sensitive moment in their culture for profit. And there's a difference between producing, say, an ice cream flavor or another consumer product to enter the conversation for monetary gain versus investing and building in real developments over time that matter to that community. or being a thought leader and change agent, taking stances on subjects that matter to your consumer base. So authenticity comes into play, so that you don't toe the line of offenses. And this leads to really that second point I talked about, which is the misses in diversity, right? It's important to have diversity in high levels in corporate to protect your brand and protect the company from making the wrong public decisions, and have leaders that will catch things and suggest alternatives. And data shows that diverse companies have larger bottom lines, and the correlation is really not a coincidence. When you follow the diversity, when you follow the money, it's important just to not miss out on those great ideas and opportunities, to connect with your larger consumer base. So, just one more stat: companies that are diverse usually outperform other companies by 35% and overall just do better financially. So this is all real and accessible data. If you are at a company, you're looking left and right as a leader and everyone looks and thinks like you're leaving money and opportunity on the table. So those are the misses.
Incredible insights and interesting, to focus on the messes, because I think even if you're making what would be generally referred to as progress, be it earnings or whatever it may be, whatever the metric is, there are oftentimes misses. And so, in your opinion, Kristen, how can these leaders really across the planet get started on a journey to closing these gaps and addressing these misses as you describe them in their leadership style?
I love that question. I love it. Love it. Thank you for that. There are books out there, really great books, self awareness, like Dare to Lead. But I also encourage leaders to read a book by an author of color, be it Black, like Keith Leitch, Asian, Latinx authors, just to gain new perspectives and watch your world open up, not only personally and understanding, but also in business, because now you'll understand your audience like never before. What do they fear? What do some face? What do some think? And you'll begin to be able to take steps towards authentic connections. There are also emotional intelligence tests out there where you can get a glance on where you fall. The HBR articles and stats out there break down the evidence of how your fiscal bottom line increases when you have diversity and decision making capacities. And finally, this is really the most important piece: it's to mentor or sponsor talent that doesn't look like you. Because if you do, you'll experience greater impact than you ever imagined. And ask for reverse mentorship with permission to ask questions and have real dialogue and bounce ideas in safe spaces. It's just imperative to increase your circle and grow your world in order to get to the next level of business growth.
Such profound advice and insights. And so, a lot of folks across the planet are talking about empathy. Um, I'd like to ask a question directly to you, which is, what has made sympathetic, empathetic leadership a priority for you?
Mm. I will tell you, in the years that I've spent in corporate America across multiple industries, that is the most effective leadership style that I've seen work, and that's empathy, right? Being authentic and empathetic is seeing someone fully. And I say it all the time, we are humans who come to work and spend most of our lives at work. So when things happen, when something happens with the children, or when there's burnout with the individual, or situations that happen with older parents, employees never forget the manager that showed them empathy when they needed it. And even externally, you see consumers not only love brands, right, but they adore the leaders of the brand. They're patient. They treat them like family. They pay for your line extensions. It goes hand in hand. Conversely, when a leader's character is not beloved, you'll see that stock literally plummet. I've heard someone say, if you can't serve me, Well, you can't serve me if you can't see me. So I'll say it again. You cannot serve me if you cannot see me. So consumers and coworkers both feel whenever there's lack of empathy, and your bottom line does suffer. Empathy builds trust inside the company and outside the company. Now that I've talked about outside the company, I'll give it a couple of examples inside the company. So inside, I've seen when collaboration flourishes because people are free to contribute their most innovative ideas. So there really could be the next $1 billion idea there on the table. And I've seen the opposite, where there's a room of silence and back channeling, like Brene Brown says, instead of speaking up because of fear of being talked over or ridiculed for speaking up. So really the choice is up to the leader on what type of company they want to create and what type of legacy they want to leave. And I choose empathy because it works.
That is incredible. And it's so incredibly inspiring, most importantly. I'd like to shift a bit, Kristen, to a favorite topic of Ideagen Global in our interviews, which is we believe that most, if not all, individuals across the planet in some way stand on the shoulders of giants, especially when you've achieved a certain level of success within your vocation. That's evident in your situation where you're director of product marketing at Microsoft for, Cloud for Retail. And so I'd like to ask you, who are some of these giants that you stand on the shoulders of?
Yes. I'll give you three. And it all kind of centers around their character of empathy and integrity, boldness, and just excellence. One is Chris Capicella, who's the CMO of Microsoft. He connects with everyone, all roles, all cultures. He's a true explorer. He's curious. And his curiosity allows him to unpack the business too and why things are working the way that they are so he can grow the business. And he's a visionary as well. The second person is Tony Towns Whitley. She is a leader and a pioneer in the state and local government space. She also is an ex Microsoft person. She's calm under pressure. She's smart. Her dignity is unmatched. And the third person, and I had the privilege of being kind of up close and personal late last year with this person, an honor, Michelle Obama. She's clear, she's authentic, she's brilliant and bold, and her advice really just fills you up to keep going and know that you're great just as you are. She says, be patient with yourself because growth takes time. And from her, I get that humanity isn't a flaw, it's a superpower, right? So I build throughout the humanity in my not only professional life, but also home life, and also when it comes to brand building as well. So their authenticity, their encouragement, their perspective is really what makes them stand out. And there's never a time that I don't learn and grow from each and every one of them.
That is incredible. I just loved your answers. And I think that, when you have, everyone has these individuals that have impacted their life. And lately as well, we've been talking a lot about moments, that after all, life is just a series of moments. Business is just a series of moments. And so, how do you want to spend those moments, right? And to be effective in leadership, having these moments with these giants, they're a moment, but they're a moment that fundamentally can change your life. As you said, one simple nugget of advice, right? These are the things that I believe our global audience, the millions of people that will watch this interview on Ideagen TV, will take away to hear from you, these three individuals that truly have changed your life and your career
Yes.
trajectory. And most importantly, I think, Kristen, what you're saying is it's changed your perspective, or modified it, or enhanced it, or whatever way you want to describe it, but it's impacted you.
That's
And
100% right.
incredible, incredible. And so, switching a big bit back to Microsoft Cloud for Retail, how do you, with Microsoft Cloud for Retail, elevate customers' capabilities through, especially today, And congrats on the Microsoft purchase of Chat GPT. I can't leave that out because I think our investment in Chat GPT. We're all learning more about it. Can't wait to utilize it in Word, etc., like Satya is saying. But how do you elevate that customer capability through data and insights?
Yes, and I share your excitement in OpenAI. But it kind of even circles to this, right? Because data is gold. We've known this forever. Data is key to knowing your customers like never before and being able to serve their interests as best as you can. And even being able to provide recommendations that they might not have even considered before and to delight them and grow loyalty. But it also improves your bottom line if you know how to use data, right? So while data is there, the problem that a lot of companies face, honestly, is that they're siloed. The data is across multiple disparate systems across the business. And frankly, data is nothing unless you can connect the dots and extract insights. So that's where Cloud for Retail really comes in. It connects the siloed data to improve a company's operations, insights, and their bottom line. So we're talking in retail about less abandoned carts and more conversions due to smart recommendations on online shopping. And knowing your customer, no matter if they're online, in store, having a full personalized omni-channel experience, because a company can now monitor trends and patterns and place those insights into action. Cloud for Retail is also about maximizing signals in the store with predictive models and optimizing store layout, inventory, shelf placement. That's all helpful for frontline staff. And allowing the leaders to make easier decisions across the shopper journey. The best part I really like about this is the value add that retailers can have to their technical environment. They don't have to throw everything away that they already own. It is a perfect overlay. And I love how Cloud for Retail meets the customer wherever they are on their digital journey. If you're just beginning, or if you just want to focus on supply chain or empowering a store associate, we can support the entire way.
That is just phenomenal. And, I'm familiar with retail, involved in retail, and I am so inspired by your focus on retail. It's such an important part of the US and the global economy, as we've seen. And so, how do these elements of the cloud for retail services um, impact the consumer?
Oh yeah. I'll add two ways, right, that it adds to consumer satisfaction. One is having the retailer finally know who you are, especially the retailer that you frequent more often. And then two, in supply chain reliability. So with the first piece, doesn't it just feel good just personally when you're on your mobile device and systems talk to each other and can identify you as a user, your preferences, you can pick up right where you left off on any device. It does. You save time. It's just so convenient. And Microsoft is a master of that when it comes to our productivity tools. And we do the same thing in cloud. So customers at large, while they expect retailers to know them by now, they expect to be able to shop across multiple touch points in a frictionless way, like buy online, pick up in store. That's what Cloud for Retail offers retailers the ability to do for their customers. So, online shopping personalization and recommendations, along with opportunities to use customer insights across the business for decision making, the ability to hyper personalize and improve customer loyalty. The second point of improve satisfaction is on inventory management and demand planning, right? And that impacts the customers a lot. So if a customer is online shopping largely for convenience and other factors are price and availability, but convenience, right? They're excited, they're anticipating their item coming. They can have a seamless purchase experience. They can review the visuals. They love the visuals. They look at the reviews and they check out, and it's great. However, if a retailer cannot meet their delivery commit that they promise on the platform, X is going to ship to you by X date, that customer experience is tanked. And the seller uh, has lost confidence that their orders are going to be fulfilled by the company moving forward. So, supply chain visibility is so imperative. Simplified operations, risk management, and connecting that pre purchase to post purchase experience is where Cloud for Retail can assist. Connecting the siloed processes, helping with returns, which is a huge issue right now, and helping across the entire supply chain. A recent McKinsey study showed that 60% of customers faced out of stocks in 2022, and only 13% waited for restock in order to purchase, which means on the flip side, the majority of shoppers, if their item is not in stock, they abandon the purchase and they go with other brands. So ultimately, the supply chain conversion leads to cost management for a company, whether it's missing revenue or managing returns. Cloud for Retail can help them across the end to end value chain and support customers getting what they want when they want it.
Simply awestruck by this detail on what you're working on. It's just awesome to hear the broad scale impact and most importantly the focus by Microsoft on Cloud for Retail. It's just remarkable. Big fan of Satya's leadership, and more so even after today's conversation. It's just amazing. And so we, back in 2020, January of 2020, we were looking at the 10-year span to achieving or addressing the global goals of the United Nations, those 17 global goals that all 193 member states of the United Nations agreed to. Cloud for Retail, empowerment, leadership, all embedded in these goals. And so in March, as we all know, of 2020, we were faced with, perhaps in the first time in human history, a global pandemic that everyone in the world faced shutdowns and all of the uncertainty surrounding that. The retail industry was impacted in ways that just were profound. Yeah. And so retail workers were obviously hit hard by COVID-19. That's a fact. How does Microsoft Cloud for Retail empower retail employees to be successful and advance their careers? So exciting now that we are literally post-pandemic.
Yeah, coming back. Absolutely. So, what I love about Cloud for Retail is that there's a whole section specifically dedicated to empowering store associates, right, with the right tools to get their work done more efficiently, which means less time trying to get the tools to work and more time supporting customers, less frustration as well. They go through a lot already. And so if we can support them and support their efficiency, we are more than happy to do it. So again, less frustration on the floor. And we know that happy employees lead to happy customers, and that's less attrition. So I've heard about the heartburn from companies when good associates leave and take their long-term knowledge with them, which just emphasizes the importance to make the employee experience better overall and just an easier place to start. The best place to start really is productivity of store associates. And we call that portion in Cloud for Retail, as I mentioned, empowering the store associate, and we mean every word of it. Not only can the store staff communicate and collaborate all in one app, so Teams, but business processes like shift scheduling, because you don't want to overschedule. You don't want to underschedule staff. So we make that easier. Faster onboarding, task management, it's all in that easy to use one app. Also, all of our Microsoft apps and the devices from us, from our partners, can also help staff save time and enhance productivity. And the new IP that we just announced is called Store Operations Assist. We had a whole demo of it at NRF. And that provides even more tools to store associates for clienteling and daily store activities like asset audits, product damage checks, and more. And it allows store leadership to manage store activities remotely from a dashboard based on analytics and insights, because it gets difficult without visibility to see what's happening in the stores, especially if we move towards the omni-channel experiences. So I'm very proud that Cloud for Retail is helping, because the reality is that frontline workers need help, frontline managers need help as well. And that means that companies have to invest in technology, because we're here, the technology is here. We don't want the systems to crash and the direct line of fire, the direct lines be in the line of fire for something that they cannot control. And so that really means empowerment and having adequate training so that frontline worker dignity is there and a great overall experience is there for them as your advocates and the first face of your brand, as well as your customers. So, as far as advancing their careers, remember that, like I always say, we are humans that come to work. So, the frontline workers who work for a lot of the retail companies and other companies out there too, they have talents that you can explore through social clubs and event committees and welcome committees, and they can use our products for productivity. They can also grow their project management skills through that and through LinkedIn Learning. They can also reference, those skills that they learned from those social committees for advanced roles in your company. Another area to explore is influencers. So converting your in-store associates to influencers. Maybe they can be featured on your next commercial or social campaign with real life experiences, or create a private think tank that they can provide their thoughts on how to improve the in-store experiences. You can gamify it in the form of a competition for incentives. The possibilities are literally limitless, and the core is providing space to listen. So don't miss, my encouragement would be to not miss the opportunity to extract insights from your store associates. They're the first face of your brand, and to make sure that they know that they are seen, they are valued, and that you support them with productivity tools like Cloud for Retail.
I mean, it is just awe-inspiring. It really is, to hear how you're helping these retail businesses. Again, this is a moment where retail, especially coming out of the global pandemic, needs these efficiencies, these opportunities on staffing, to coordinate staffing, to coordinate products and losses on products. If you're out of products and you can't order the product, the business is losing money. And so that ability to have a dashboard, all the things you mentioned, are really music to the ears, I believe, of retailers across the United States and really across the planet. And so, how does Microsoft Cloud for Retail equip these organizations? You mentioned quite a few, but how does it help to equip these organizations to enhance their sustainability capabilities?
Oh, sustainability. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy we're talking about this. It's funny because I wrote a blog on Microsoft.com a few years back on sustainability in the financial services sector, how it impacts them, how to get started, and to see the conversation now spreading in every area across corporate America. It's just amazing. I love it. So, really, to boil it down, sustainability is the balance between humans and nature, and ensuring that we support each other today and for the generations to come. So, for example, we need crops to grow in order to produce the goods that we sell. And in order for the crops to grow, we have to maintain livable conditions, like using less, wasting less. So you see, it's cyclical. And there are a growing number of environmental sustainability laws in the US to protect that balance from air, water, food waste, and more that companies are going to have to start paying attention to. And it affects all of us across retail and consumer goods. Of course, Microsoft got ahead of it, and we're helping customers in every industry with our sustainability cloud, which records, reports, reduces environmental impact with the Microsoft Sustainability Manager. And it's great for anyone starting their sustainability journey, and it overlaps perfectly in Cloud for Retail as well as other industries. And it provides visibility for you into what's really happening in your business, and helps you in reporting, but also identifies opportunities to improve and minimize your environmental footprint end to end. So it's a really, really great dashboard. And overall, sustainability efforts aren't just good for the business because of the brand statements you can put out, right? Of what it could produce or compliance measures, but also it's a greater thing for profit potential too. Capgemini showed that 79% of consumers are changing their buying preferences based on sustainability. So consumers are looking at it, right? So not only will you use less by adopting sustainability practices, but you'll be in greater consideration pools when consumers are looking to buy. Consumers are demanding sustainability efforts now. It's one of the deciding factors for whether they invest their dollars with you versus competitors. So it's real and it should be taken seriously if you're looking to thrive. Um, it is a place where consumer demand and regulations meet, and it shouldn't be ignored. And one last thought, too, which is very, very interesting that we're seeing up and coming talent are looking for companies that have a low environmental footprint in the world. So if you want to attract the best candidates going forward, you'll have to be a company that they'll be proud to work at. And a company that's they're proud to work at is a company that's future focused. So it's all about sustainability right now.
Amazing, amazing, and it really does all tie in together. All are critically important. Kristen Hicks, Director of Product Marketing, Microsoft Cloud for Retail. We can't thank you enough for your leadership, the impact that you're making, and all you're doing to literally change the world. What is your call to action for our global audience, and how can individuals across the planet find out more about all you're doing at Microsoft Cloud for Retail?
Oh, thank you. Such kind words. My parting words are really to go back to the basics, center on three things. One, remember to keep customers at the center of all you do. Their satisfaction is the lifeblood of business. If your supply chain is visible and predictable, that gets them their products a better time and speed so to keep their confidence. Can we provide them the right products at the right time, at the right price? So keep customer satisfaction at the center. For a guided tour of our videos and what we do with Cloud for Retail, anyone can visit Microsoft.com/retail. Two, invest in your talent, be it productivity tools with technology, empowerment to make decisions with dignity, or clever incentivization. It's just imperative to treat them like you would want to be treated. And if you ever feel that you're venturing off course, just ask yourself along the way, if you were in their shoes, would you want to work for your company? And third, empathy and human dignity is at the core of it all in leadership, in business, and in life. So thank you. Thank you for the time. Anyone can connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like to connect with me personally, but Microsoft.com/retail is how you learn more about Microsoft Cloud for Retail.
Kristen Hicks, Director of Product Marketing, Microsoft Cloud for Retail. Thank you for the honor and privilege of this interview today.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.